introduce my very own students, Rahul and Ruby Joy. I had the privilege of teaching them English in 10th and 11th grade. To tell you a little bit more about Shanti Bhavan, Shanti Bhavan is a K-12 boarding school in rural South India that serves underprivileged children. So these children here are 2 students, over 300 at the school. The school has now seen over 5 batches graduate and 3 batches graduate from college. These students have now gone on to work at companies like Goldman Sachs, Deloitte, Ernst & Young, companies that we all want to be working at, right? So, without any further ado, let's start off, guys. So, can you tell us a little bit about your life before coming to Shanti Bhavan?
Of course. Actually, before coming to Shanti Bhavan, I still remember the first day my dad had called me useless. My own dad had called me useless. And I was very little at that time and I never knew how much that could hurt me. But looking back, I realized how much that one single word can cause so much hurt. Like most families in rural India, they do not like having female children because we're a big expense. And my family was no exception. Even they thought that I was a burden to them. We were very poor, and unfortunately at that time, my mom and dad had separated when I was 7 years old. Now, currently, my mom, my younger brother who's in 4th grade, we live with 2 of our aunties and a grandma. And through all of this, we also had no proper water at our house. My mom had to wake up every day in the morning, walk 2 kilometers to fetch water for drinking and bathing as well. And in the evenings while going back home, we would be extremely tired and exhausted. But unfortunately, we had no beds. So we had to sleep on the concrete floor, all of us together. And due to the lack of water at our house, we also had no proper toilets. So I had to go out to the fields to use the toilet. And though I was very little at that time, I felt extremely unhygienic. And through all of these conditions, one day, I heard my mom and dad speaking about putting me into Shanti Bhavan. The next day when we rode to Shanti Bhavan, I found out that it was a boarding school and I started kicking and crying because I didn't want my mom and dad to let go of me, but I had to leave them and it was very sad.
Like Ruby just mentioned, my first day at school was chaotic. As I entered the gates of Shanti Bhavan, I met a young lady, which I later found out was Auntie Raji. And this is Auntie Raji. So she led me by my hand and she put me into my dormitory, and that's where my classmates were. She had given me a toy to play with to distract me from my mother, and while I was playing with the toy, my mother had left. And I wanted to see her very much, so I rushed to the door to see her, but there Auntie Raji stood preventing me from seeing her. And I bit her hand so hard, which caused a swelling the next day. And as you can see, she survived. So, at the age of 4, I was a cat who will tuck me in bed, comb my hair, and tie my shoelace. And this is truly the only negative memory I have about Shanti Bhavan, and that speaks a lot about my school. And Shanti Bhavan and Auntie Raji played the role of my mother, and it has always been my second home.
That's really great, guys. A little bit about what life is like at Shanti Bhavan?
So, in class, we do presentations which improve our communication skills.
Yeah.
And we also read the daily virtue and present the world news, which enhances our public skills. Outside of class, we play sports like soccer, basketball, and volleyball, which teaches us teamwork and sportsmanship. And this is a picture when a local company had come into our school to hold a sports event. And I was in the blue team, and this is the relay, and I was in the blue team and my team lost, and I'm really sad. They also held basketball tournaments and soccer tournaments, and this is a picture of Saranya from the 9th grade blocking Rosiga's cake from the 10th grade. And at our school, we not only play sports, we also play various musical instruments like piano, guitar, and cello. And this is Naveen from the 12th grade playing piano. And the best part about my school is that my friends have become my family, and this is my great boys. So this is Berkman's. He's a pianist and he has composed his own music. That's Rajesh, and he's the clown of our class. And that's the guy who goes biting Auntie's finger at the age of 4.
And Rahul, I totally agree with you. And I agree with Rahul because at school we are one big family. And this is a picture of my siblings at school, and this is Alvin and Jayshri. They're helping each other at homework, and this goes all the way through the 12th grade. And the most obvious memory that I have of my classmates supporting me and encouraging me was when I was going to take my college entrance exams. And when I was taking these exams, I was extremely scared. And my classmates could feel that I was scared because we have been brothers and sisters from the age of 4, and we can read each other's emotions very easily. Every class individually is especially close, but on the broader scale, we function as a family. For example, my classmate girls and I, we live in the 2nd grade dorm with the little 2nd graders. If they get homesick or get scared in the night, or if they ever want to cuddle next to someone, we would always be there just like an older sister would. And this is a picture of one of my classmates, Pavitra. She's reading bedtime stories to the little 2nd graders. And this is my best friend at school. Her name is Katsia, and she's trying to put the 2nd graders at sleep, but they're not listening to her. And at times, it really gets tough because we are children and they are children. We've gone through this phase, and it gets tough at times. And this not only happens with the girls, and it also happens with the boys as well. There was this time where many people had got sick, and one of my friends, Akash, was sick too. And there was this night where a preschooler named Yogesh started crying all of a sudden at night. And Akash woke up to this noise and saw Yogesh crying. So he placed him on his lap, patted him slowly on his head, and put him to sleep. And only after Akash saw that Yogesh was asleep did he tuck him in bed. And this feeling of family that is created in my school also helps me express my individual talents. For example, my classmate Tanuja and I love dancing Bhangra and Bollywood from the age of 4. And both of us have no reason to feel shy to perform in front of any crowd because Shanti Bhavan has given us the courage to express our individual talents as well as to prepare us for future challenges.
Love to hear about what your future aspirations are after you graduate from Shanti Bhavan.
So since I have chosen the business track, I would like to do my master's and my bachelor's in the few best colleges of Bangalore. Later in life, I want to work for Amazon. And at Shanti Bhavan, they not only teach us to receive, but also to give. So I want to play an active role in the future lives of future kids of Shanti Bhavan.
Like some of my seniors here, I too have taken the business track. I would like to continue doing my further studies in business in a very prestigious college in Bangalore. I am going to continue dancing and singing because that's my passion. Dr. George, the founder of Shanti Bhavan, has given me this wonderful opportunity of high-class education that I would like children from families like mine to have. I would like to use this education that I have been given to serve other people just like Dr. George did for me. Tufaan has been supporting Shanti Bhavan for the past 4 years, and we appreciate the ongoing support that you have been given our school. And we really hope that our friendship continues to grow.
We would like to thank Tufaan for inviting us to attend this event, and we really appreciate everything you have done for us. Thank you.